Hi everybody, welcome to a new video. In this video we are going to be reading Monsters, Inc. I got this from my niece, but I was like, this would be perfect for you guys. This is the Pixar, my first bedtime storybook. So you have stories like Up, Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., which is my favorite, and The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Finding Nemo. So sit back, relax, and get ready to sleep. What do you think is page 15? Here it is. Today we will be reading Monsters, Inc. James P. Sullivan, also known as Sully, was the top scarer at Monsters, Inc. Scaring kids was an important job. Their screams kept the whole city running. One day, Sully saw a door on the scare floor. "Boo!" came a voice from the door. A little girl had snuck through. Sully tried to return the girl to her bedroom, but she kept coming back. So he hid the little girl in his bag and brought her home. This is Sully taking her, trying to sneak past everybody. When Sully's best friend, Mike Wazowski, found out there was a kid in the monster world, he couldn't believe it. "Her name is Boo," said Sully. "You named it?" said Mike. The next morning, Sully and Mike made a monster costume for Boo. They drove to the park and planned to leave her there, but Boo locked herself inside the car. Mike and Sully tried to get Boo out of the car, but nothing worked until a monster butterfly fluttered by. Boo opened the car door and ran after it. Mike and Sully got in the car, but it wouldn't start. They were out of gas. "We need to find Boo," Sully said. "Her scream will start the car." Sully soon found Boo, and together they made their way back to the car. This is her clinging on to him, and him trying to get back to the car. Now, all Sully had to do was to make Boo scream. But when he looked at Boo, she didn't scream. Sully didn't scare her one bit. See? They're just friends. She doesn't see him as a monster. Mike banged his head on the steering wheel. "Honk!" went the horn. Boo thought that was funny. Her giggles made the engine start with a roar. And that's how Boo, Sully, and Mike became the best of friends. Adorable. Let me know which story you guys want next. And I will see you guys next time. Good night, good night, good night. Sleep well. Welcome to another video, guys. In this video, I'll be reading you a bedtime story. Today we're going with the classic called Up. Up is on page 39. 26, 38, and here it is. This is the Pixar my first bedtime storybook. It's a classic Pixar stories such as Up, Monsters Inc., and Toy Story. So let's get started, shall we? This is Up. Once there was an old man named Carl Fredrickson. After Carl's wife died, he was supposed to go live in a retirement home. But Carl didn't want to go, so he tied hundreds and hundreds of balloons to his house and floated away instead. To Carl's surprise, a junior wilderness explorer named Russell had been on his porch when the house lifted off the ground. Russell floated away with Carl too. Carl and Russell stayed afloat until a thunderstorm hit, causing the house to land in South America at a place called Paradise Falls. Carl's wife, Ellie, had always wanted to go there. In the jungle, they came across a rare bird. Russell named him Kevin. Then they met Doug, a friendly talking dog. And Doug wanted to take them to his master. Doug's fellow dogs weren't as friendly as he was. They brought Carl, Russell, and Doug to the cave where their master lived. Their master was a famous explorer named Charles Muntz. His goal in life was to capture a bird just like Kevin. So he stole Kevin. Carl wasn't going to do anything to save Kevin, but then he found his wife's old scrapbook. Inside was a note telling him to have an adventure of his own. The note changed his mind. Working together, Carl, Russell, and Doug saved Kevin. Carl and Russell returned home, where Carl gave Russell a special badge of his own to honor their adventure together. And that's all for this story. Super quick 5-minute stories. Thank you so much for watching. Rest well, relax, lay back, close your eyes, and sleep, sleep, sleep. Good night, guys, and I'll see you next time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video, and in this video we will be reading Toy Story. This is a book I got for my niece, but I will be using it before I visit to read you guys some stories. So this has many Pixar stories such as Toy Story, Monsters Inc., and Up. On the back you can see more such as The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Finding Nemo, Ratatouille, So, it's a bit of a padded book. It's just to get started, okay? It's called Pixar, My First Bedtime Storybook. Let's check what page Toy Story 3 is on. 51. Here it is, okay. Toy Story 3. Let's get started. Andy had a lot of toys, but when it was time to pack for college, he decided to take only one, Woody. He placed his other toys in a bag that would go to the attic for safekeeping. This is the bag of toys, and this is Woody and Buzz. So he's choosing between Woody and Buzz. When Andy's mom cleaned his room, she thought the bag of toys was garbage, so she put it on the curb. Woody jumped out the window and tried to rescue his friends, but they thought Andy had meant to throw them away. The toys jumped into a donation box and were taken to a place called Sunnyside Daycare. At Sunnyside, a bear named Lotso explained that the toys would be played with every day. Lotso was right, but the kids at the daycare were very rough with the toys. Buzz asked Lotso if they could move to a room where the kids were gentler. Lotso refused and reprogrammed Buzz so he would forget that Andy's toys were his friends. Then, Lotso trapped the toys in storage bins. Luckily, Woody was able to escape, but before he got far, a little girl named Bonnie found him and took him home. Bonnie's toys explained to Woody why Lotso was so mean to new toys. Woody knew his friends were in trouble. So, he went back to the daycare center and helped his friends sneak out through the garbage chute. The toys ended up in a dump truck, which dumped them into a big pit of garbage. This is all the toys falling into the garbage. They didn't know if they'd ever get out. Luckily, the little green aliens used a crane to pull the toys to safety. The toys were able to make it home before Andy left for college. When Andy saw them, he saw that they needed someone special who would play with them. Even Woody. That special someone was Bonnie. Now Andy's toys would have someone to love them and play with them every single day. The end. Thank you so much for listening. And good night, good night, good night. Sleep well. Close your eyes, sleep back, relax, and sleep, 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 sleep. Welcome, 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 everybody. In today's video, we are going to be reading from this book, Pixar, my first bedtime storybook. This book includes stories like Toy Story 3, Monsters Inc., Up, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and today's story, Ratatouille. This is a book I got from my niece, but before I visit, I will read some of these stories for you. Well, all of them. So, Ratatouille is on page 63. Here we are. Pixar, Ratatouille, Ratatouille, Ratatouille. Cheese. Okay, let's get started. Deep in the French countryside lived a rat named Remy. He dreamed of becoming a great chef. The great chef, Auguste Cousteau, was Remy's idol. Cousteau's restaurant had just lost its 5-star rating. Soon after, Cousteau passed away. One day, Remy went to Cousteau's restaurant, which was now being run by a chef named Skinner. He watched as a man called Linguini asked for a job in the kitchen. Skinner hired Linguini as a garbage boy, but on his first day, he knocked over a pot of soup. Remy helped him make a new pot by adding delicious ingredients. The customers and critics loved it. After that, Linguini was moved to the kitchen. This is Remy putting all the ingredients into the pot to make a delicious soup. Meanwhile, Remy's father was worried. He did not like that Remy was working at Cousteau's, but Remy was determined to prove that he was meant to be a chef. and that rats and humans could get along. When Remy returned to the restaurant, he discovered that Auguste Gusteau was Linguini's father. That meant that the restaurant should belong to Linguini, not to Skinner. So Remy chased Skinner out of the restaurant. This is Skinner serving a plate of this food. Now that the restaurant was Linguini's, the critic who had taken away Gusteau's 5-star rating returned to taste Linguini's food. Linguini had to admit that Remy was the chef who created those delicious dishes. Remy made a ratatouille and the critic loved it. Soon after, Linguini and Remy opened a new bistro together, with a dining room for humans and another one reserved just for rats. The end. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and get some good sleep. Sit back, relax, close your eyes and sleep. Welcome to another video, guys. Another story reading today. If you are new to the series, I have read all of these different books, little 5-minute stories. This is a present for my niece, but until I visit, I'll read these for you. This is the Pixar My First Bedtime Storybook, including stories like Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Up, Ratatouille, Find Nemo, and today's story, The Incredibles. So, let's just get right into it. Let's see which page The Incredibles starts. 27, page 27, let's search for it. Here it is. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Incredibles. Okay. Once upon a time, a superhero called Mr. Incredible met his biggest fan, a kid named Buddy. He wanted to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick, but Mr. Incredible said no. He worked alone. Mr. Incredible married another super. She was known as Elastigirl. Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl had 3 kids, Violet, Dash, and Jack. They were a family of supers. But years later, being a super had become illegal. The Incredibles had to hide their powers and identities, so they became Bob and Helen Parr. Bob missed using his superpowers. Then one day, a mysterious woman called Mirage contacted him. Mirage had a mission for Bob. She wanted him to become Mr. Incredible again. Mr. Incredible agreed, and he went on the mission alone. But it was a trap. An evil super captured Mr. Incredible. The villain called himself Syndrome, but his real name was Buddy, the super from Mr. Incredible's past. Mr. Incredible ran away from Syndrome and snuck into his headquarters, but it wasn't long before Syndrome captured him again, pummeling him with giant globs of goo. When Helen discovered that her husband was in trouble, she jumped into a jet to rescue him. Dash and Violet came along too. Syndrome shot the jet down, sending it into the ocean, but Helen became Elastigirl, shaped herself into a boat, and kept going. Elastigirl found Syndrome's headquarters, got inside, and saved Mr. Incredible. Violet and Dash held their own against Syndrome's guards. Working together, the Incredibles defeated Syndrome and stopped his robot from destroying the city. Individually, they were super, but as a team, they were unstoppable. The Incredibles saved the day. The end. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Good night, good night, good night. Hello, hello. to another video, guys. In this video I'm going to be continuing this reading series and reading a classic known as Finding Nemo. For any of you interested in more reading stories on my channel, I have 5 more, as well as Stork Diary reading. This is a gift from my niece, but until I visit, they're in another state, I will be using it to read for you guys. So, this is Pixar, my first bedtime storybook, including classic Disney Pixar stories, such as Toy Story 3, Monsters Inc., Up, Ratatouille, The Incredibles, and today's choice, Finding Nemo. So, let's just get right into it. Let's see. Finding Nemo is on page 5. Oh, here it is. Sit back, relax, and listen. It was Nemo's first day of school, and he was so excited. There were so many new friends to meet and adventures to have. Nemo wanted to swim to the surface. His father, Marlin, warned him that it was too dangerous, but the little fish didn't listen. Nemo swam up and away from Marlin. Suddenly, a diver spotted him. The diver caught Nemo and took him away. Marlin didn't know what to do. A fish named Dory spotted Marlin. She was friendly and offered to help him. Marlin and Dory set out to find Nemo, but they soon found themselves face to face with a shark. Luckily, the shark was nice and led Marlin and Dory to a submarine. There, Marlin spotted the diver's mask. It had an address written on it, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, Australia. Hoping to find Nemo, Marlin and Dory decided to go to 42 Wallaby Way. Along the way, they swam through a jellyfish forest and befriended some sea turtles. Marlin and Dory kept swimming, and more sea creatures heard about the search for Nemo. When a friendly pelican named Nigel heard about the missing fish, he knew exactly where to find them. In a dentist's fish tank. Nigel took Marlin and Dory to the dentist's office. But when they got there, they discovered that Nemo was gone. When nobody was looking, Nemo had jumped into a pipe that led to the ocean. Father and son were reunited at last. Then Marlin, Nemo, and their friend Dory headed home. The end. Thank you for watching. Just sit back, relax, close your eyes, and go to